On episode 212 of He Said, She Said movie reviews, we take a look at the movie The Last Duel. Welcome to He Said, She Said movie reviews. This is the podcast where a happily married couple with similar but different movie tastes take a quick, spoiler-free look at the movies, helping you make the right decision before your next movie. I'm your host, Tim.
And I'm April.
So we just got back from seeing The Last Duel. What do you give this one, April?
A 4, definitely a good movie.
Yeah, for me, I think it's a solid 3.5. We'll tell you all about it right after these two trailers.
Alrighty, the first trailer we saw was The Black Phone, and it looks terrifying. After being abducted by a child killer and locked in a soundproof basement, a 13-year-old boy starts receiving calls on a disconnected phone from the killer's previous victims. The release date is February 4th, 2021.
Birthday movie for me.
Huh?
Birthday movie for me.
Oh, it is, definitely. We'll be seeing that one right before. It stars Ethan Hawke, Jeremy Davies, and James Ransone. The second one was Scream. I think it's like Scream 5. It's the new installment of the horror franchise, of course. It's about a woman returning to her hometown to try to find out who has been committing a series of vicious crimes. The release date is January 14th, 2022. Did I get that right?
Yeah, actually, okay. I wrote down the release date wrong for the Black Phone. That should be 2022 also, not 2021.
Oh,
Whoops.
Boy. Whoops.
Typo on my part.
Courteney Cox and David Arquette, of course, are back, and Neve Campbell, who we love.
All right, so The Last Duel is the story. It takes place it's a 14th century movie about a knight and a squire who have some issues over the same woman.
Yes, they do. Over one of the worst charges ever,
right.
Actually. Director was Ridley Scott, of course, known for Gladiator, Alien, Covenant.
Prometheus.
And my favorite movie, G.I. Jane.
The writers on this were Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and Nicole Holofcener. Of course, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are both known for Good Will Hunting, and Matt is also known for Jerry and Promised Land, Ben Affleck for Gone Baby Gone and The Town, and Nicole is also known for Can You Ever Forgive Me, which we reviewed about a year ago, and Please Give Me, and Enough Said.
And of course, if you haven't seen Good Will Hunting, it's one of our favorite movies of all time. You have to see it. Tim, what about the cast?
It has a great cast of Matt Damon, Adam Driver, Jodie Comer, Harriet, Walter, Ben Affleck, Alex Lawther, Marton, Csokas, and a host of others.
You did fantastic. Yes, hundreds, right, for the fight scenes. Okay, runtime, 152 minutes, 2.5 hours. It didn't bother me at all, and that's because it was a well-done movie. Rated R for strong violence, including sexual assault, sexual content, some graphic nudity, and language.
All right, shall we dig in?
Let's dig in.
So this has an interesting theme. Of course, it has this whole misogyny theme. It does have rape as part of the theme and women as property. But one of the most interesting things about this theme, too, in here is how different people see the same thing as the same incident differently.
Perception.
I mean, this is perception. And this is something, I'll just say that we're currently experiencing how in the world right now, how you can have a same event and two different people seeing it completely differently, how it resolves. What do you think of the acting?
I thought the acting was incredible. I thought Matt Damon is one of the best things, I think, of his career. I think Jodie Comer did amazing. And Ben Affleck, somehow, no matter how he's acting, he has the ability to make me giggle.
I'm a huge Ben Affleck fan. I like him a lot. I like the movies he's in. I don't think he's the greatest actor, but he was perfect for the role that he was in.
He was, and he brought himself to the role.
Yeah, he really did. And, we talked about Matt Damon a month or two ago with Stillwater. And I think Stillwater was a really good movie showing Matt's acting ability. And I think he just carried it on over into this. And I'm, if you're a longtime listener of the podcast, I'm not a huge Adam Driver fan, but I actually really liked Adam Driver in this movie. I think he was very good in the role that he did. And there's one of the things that I really liked in the acting with him, because we talked about the same incident from three different people's views. And when you saw this thing, and I'm, of course we don't do spoilers here, but there was a scene where he comes in and he's talking to Matt Damon's wife in her house, and the way he saw it, all this bravado, and he was this great guy, and then he reacted the same scene where he was like timid, and I thought the acting there was really good scene in how he was acting.
What I loved about how this movie was written is you get different viewpoints, and it just the subtle point of how they did that made me pay attention more to the movie. So I want to say, too, on acting, I just felt like that we waited so long for this movie to come. We were so excited. And it's so nice to wait that long and watch a movie that is just well done.
Yeah.
Even it has a hard subject matter.
And, hats off to Ridley Scott. He is such a great director, and he does a good job of getting his actors to bring out the most, their best. And I think he did that in this movie. Yeah,
he did. I thought the score was good. The cinematography, it was beautiful. What I really appreciated is some medieval type movies are so dark. They're hard to watch. Yeah. I mean, literally.
No, I agree that. Yeah, and that is a pet peeve of mine. Yes, it was the Dark Ages, but the movie doesn't have to be dark just to show that it's the Dark Ages, because I'm sure for them it was in living color.
Right. I thought, again, the cinematography, the fights, I thought all that was great. And I thought you agreed with me. Why don't you talk about production design? Because I know. Production
design is one of the places that this movie really shines. I think really good sets, a lot of great castles in here. I haven't had a chance to do any research because we just saw this movie. So I don't know what castles they used or if it was all CGI. I don't think so. I think they actually, because this was filmed in France and in Ireland, from what I did read that much. So I'm sure they used historical castles and such. But one of the really great things, this is one of the first real good medieval movies where they had the right armor for the right time period. A lot of times you'll see the wrong armor for the time period. They used 14th century armor in this movie.
That is true.
And I really like that. And I thought one of the things that really shined is the sword fighting was real.
Yeah.
It was correct. They were doing half swording and things like that, which you never really see in movies. I thought the fight scenes, and this goes in...
Well, you would know about sword fighting, Tim.
I'm rolling into the special effects part too now, because, that was really what the special effects were all about. The fighting was brief. There wasn't a lot of it. This wasn't a movie about battles and stuff, even though it ends with a great duel between these two. But I thought the fighting in this movie was really good. Sorry, I think I've been running on and on about that.
No. I agree with you, but you know a lot about sword fighting. I mean, as you have been a sword fighter. So that is true. And we've seen, how many movies with fighting scenes. And I actually... from where I sit, thought this was some of the best I've ever seen. So that was good. I thought the editing was, it's fine. It's normal. The pace, slower at times. However, that was kind of their method for storytelling.
Yeah.
So,
well, the interesting thing is, because we touched on this and when we talked about the theme, this is a movie that they literally went and showed the same story 3 times during the movie from each one of the main characters'
like that,
points
believe
of
it
view.
or not.
So it's like, we got through Matt Damon's version, his character, Jean's version of the story.
Right.
And then we go back and see it from Adam Driver characters, the same story.
Right.
And you think that might have gotten old real quickly, but it didn't.
Right.
And
this was one of the most unique ways to tell a story in a movie I've seen.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved it. And you know me with repetition. I usually don't like it. My mind is, usually out of there. But I thought that was well done. But I want to talk a little bit about the story arc and the fact that, it was very hard, obviously, as a woman to when we go back in history to watch how women were property, how they were treated, is tough. I mean, that part is always hard. especially the story of his wife, because it centers around this and a rape that occurs, and just how people view it, perception, how people treated her through it. I mean, it was very difficult, but the movie itself, I think they stayed true to the characters.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I thought they did a good job.
And by the way, I don't think we mentioned this. This is based off of a true story.
Yeah.
These were real people.
And that's what made it
in
also
a real
hard.
event that happened.
Yeah.
So I thought they did a really good job about this. And I thought, once again, misogyny is a big problem.
Yeah.
And such. And
still is.
It still is. And I think they did a really good job telling that story and pointing that out.
Right. The bottom line, this was a very well done movie. It was a kind of a period timepiece that they did. I mean, I just look in so many directions, and I was pleased. And I would rate it, I say a 4, but bottom line, I mean, it's an A movie.
Yeah, no,
and we don't get those a lot.
It was, and once again, I really enjoyed the storytelling method in here. The fact that you did have a story.
I think they know that too.
I know from 3 different people. So I know they do.
Yeah.
But to me, it was just as a writer myself and everything. It's just wow, having it from 3 different people's viewpoints and how differently people can view the same incident.
Right. Well, there's also a saying, and I know I taught our daughter when she was young, and after this movie, is perception is reality, and that's depending on someone's perception.
Right.
So there we go. But it was a very well done movie. Shout out to Ben and Matt. More.
Yeah, absolutely.
Find some more scripts.
Yeah, please do, you guys. So once again, The Last Duel. April gives this 4 stars. I give it 3.5 stars. Highly recommend you've seen it. And I think it's visually pleasing enough that you should go see it on the big screen if you get a chance.
Absolutely. Don't miss this chance. Go see The Last Duel. Y'all, thank you so much for all your support. Tim and I are back. Yes, we've been seeing a lot of movies, but we've had some travel and some life celebrations, I'll call them. But we're back on a schedule, and thank you for your support.
Thanks a lot, and we'll see you at the movies.
See you at the movies.